So you probably already know about DKOldies at this point, and we've actually made about 3 videos discussing with them, like with, how YouTubers, like, the content creators like Rich of Review Tech USA, Jacob R, and many countless of other YouTubers have clearly been getting game systems that they've bought, whether it be a PS3, a PS2, a Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, freaking N64, or whatever old system there is that they sell. They clearly have not been getting no consoles clean, refurbished, and they want to, make it clear with everybody that they are refurbishing their products, but they're clearly not refurbishing their consoles one little bit. So we actually got 3, technically 4, but mainly 3 reasons as what is going on with DKOldies at this very point. And then there is actually one reason that seems like it's the cause of all of it, but we'll get there later in the video. But we're going to start off with our first reason. It is still a big reason, but it is not as big as like the other 2 are. The first main reason is there's a lot of miscommunication going on. Like, there's quite a few other departments with freaking DKOldies on, like, whether if they're packaging the item or they're cleaning the item or reviewing it from somebody who sold it to them, whatever the case is. There is quite a few to several different departments with DKOldies, and each and every single one of them are either doing like a review of a system they bought from somebody, or cleaning it, or freaking getting ready to ship it to the next consumer that bought it. So apparently when it comes to the cleaning crew and the freaking refurbishing, departments, actually, I forgot to mention, there is one little reason. It's still somewhat of a big reason, but it's not quite as big as some of the other that we're about to give you. One of the reasons is they don't have the tools on every department to basically clean, take the console apart, clean, refurbish it, or do whatever that needs to be done. They don't have all the parts and tools to do that kind of stuff. And that right there alone actually kind of explains a lot. That actually right there kind of explains a lot as to why that these YouTubers and content creators out there are absolutely getting consoles that they are making out that they're cleaning, refurbishing, and saying that all of them are open, clean, this and that. And every console that these content creators got have not been open. Some of them haven't even been open once. Like, they didn't even take the chance to take the console apart and, or just do something simple and just, wipe the outside of a console that might be just slightly little dusty, or maybe dusty in general. So it doesn't sound really all that right with DKOldies. So, but I am going to let you guys know, do not buy from DKOldies, at least not right now, until something actually gets settled, which I'm sure that most of you that probably do watch this video are probably not going to. So, yeah, like I stated on my previous video, you are just going to be better off to buy a console, even if it's used or brand new or whatever it is that is an old console. You're just going to be better off to either purchase it from someone on eBay. You still have a slight 10% chance on eBay that the console may not work or whatever, but that's like 10% out of 100 that you're going to get, and 90% out of 100 you're going to most likely get a working console. even if it is dirty or whatever, on the plus side, it's going to be a lot cheaper too. So you're going to be saving money, most likely getting a probably console that works, which half of the consoles that these YouTubers got from DKOldies are either not working at all or just ain't working properly or not reading games right or controllers are not working right. So you're just going to be better off to buy a used console from somebody on basically eBay or basically from a pawn shop near you. Those are going to be the best choices that you're going to have of having a higher percent chance that the console is going to look pretty in good shape and will work most likely. You're still going to have that 10% chance that it won't, but that's 10% out of 100, and most likely 90% out of 100, the console's really going to work, because I'll leave you know this, like, a pawn shop is not going to take a console that is not going to work properly at all. So, just to throw that out there. But miscommunication, okay, is a big reason as to why they're not cleaning the consoles. So, now, let's move on to the second one, which is even bigger than that. And this is not the main reason, but the second big reason as to why DKOldies has been lying to the consumer is, well, like that guy said, if a console turns on or at least works or, doesn't look dusty on the outside or, just looks not too bad on the outside, they just think that they don't have to take it apart and clean it, even though they haven't, let's say they haven't played, with it for, an hour, played some time with it to see if anything is messing up. They just immediately turn it on and they just be like, oh, yeah, yep, it works. All right, let's get ready to sell it. So they don't really think that, they don't think farther in of, that what they're supposed to do is what I'm trying to say. Like, they don't think outside of the brain. So that right there is a big flaw as to why DKOldies has been sending people out crappy consoles, and they're claiming that they're cleaning and refurbishing them, but they're clearly not. That right there is a big problem right there. Them not just wanting to take the console apart, only wanting to do it if something majorly is wrong with it. It could happen with a new console at any point. So, but when you have a old console, especially when a new console needs fresh new thermal paste that they're clearly not doing, that is very important for a console to last a lot longer, especially when it comes to an old console like the PS3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, N64, and I mean, even the newer consoles that we have on the market need that stuff every so many years, because otherwise it's not going to be able to cool itself, because the thermal paste that's helping it, with the CPU or whatever it is, it's just dried up and it's not helping, and the console's just going to overheat. So thermal paste is very important, and that's one thing that they definitely at least need to improve on. So I'll say this, if they would at least put fresh new thermal paste on their consoles, even if they don't clean the outside and the inside, and they don't look that bad as, my gosh, like that PS3 that Jacob R had, but if they look very similar to that second replacement PS3 he had, I'm sure most of the YouTubers won't care, but at the same time, cleaning still needs to be done. But a lot of people would be very, very thankful if they at least put fresh new thermal paste on the chips of the consoles inside of the motherboard. If they would at least do that, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't get as much backlash as they're getting. But no, they're leaving it dirty, and they're leaving, dried up thermal paste, especially from the beginning of the console, from when it launched, and that's not very good business. That's just not good at all. And most of the consoles that these YouTubers have got literally clearly have not worked one bit. So something just does not seem right. And we're getting ready to move on to the major big reason as to why this is happening. And the last major big reason, this is a big red flag of the company that's doing it. Well, it's officially the owner that's making these choices, because as that former employee said, that the owner is making Joey do all these decisions, whether if they're posting videos and lying to the consumer. And apparently we thought it was Joey that was doing all this, but clearly he's just doing what he's told. And, we have to understand that in a way, because, he's probably got a family he has to pay and take care of, so he's just got to do what his boss tells him to. Even though it's still not quite right, but if it came to something like that, I would much rather have somebody, do what they have to in order to, keep their house, take care of their families, even if their boss is telling them to do the wrong way. That's just what they got to do in order to, keep their house and keep food on the table for their families. But the owner is what it looks like to be, is behind all of this. And it's making these decisions as to, the developers, or not developers, the employees is what I mean to say, is the reason as to why these employees are either not taking their time to at least take a console apart and at least clean it, or ordering the tools to even do that in some of the departments that don't have the tools, which there are some that do and there's some that don't, and then people not in certain departments not working, and the miscommunication. So those are the three reasons as to why is miscommunication. They think that if the console turns on, or at least just looks like it's working, they don't have to do a single thing, and that's completely wrong. And then the main red flag, the owner. That's what it sounds like it is. After all, watching that video that Jacob R did of a review with a former employee. I mess up saying former sometime as formal. I don't know, I have a hard time saying that. But an employee that used to work with him a little while ago, that's what Jacob R got from him, and it clearly makes sense. And there are some businesses out there where there's a guy that's the top notch of the company, and he's just way far out of hand as to what he's doing with the company, and is making horrible decisions. And honestly, that's what it is this whole time. It's the owner that's making these choices, and that's not getting the tools for every department to do something like that, and that is forcing Joey to make these false advertisement videos saying that, they're cleaning, they're testing, and they're doing this, refurbishing. And like he said, if they're not really doing that, then they need to change their strategy, and basically, for the consoles that they do the cleaning and refurbishing for and repairing, put those ones as refurbished. But for the consoles that aren't, put them, as used, or, freaking whatever it is, like used or decently, used or whatever, just basically used is all they have to do, and lower the price down quite a bit. If they're at least refurbishing the consoles, like with the PlayStation 3 being $400, especially a backward compatible one, if they're at least putting fresh new thermal paste, cleaning the console out, and it almost looks like it's brand new, minus having scuffs on the shiny plastic, but that's just how, the shiny plastic does, as, even after having it for a small amount of time, it just gets wear and scuff real easy. But if the outside is not dusty, and the inside they clean, and they put fresh new thermal paste, I would see, I would feel like a fat backward compatible PS3 that is probably like a 60 gig model or a 80 gig model, that plays PS2, I can see it being okay selling for $400. I still think it's way too much. I still think that at the lowest it should be is probably $250. But if they're at least doing all of these things that they're saying that they're doing that they're clearly not, I can understand in a way of why some of the consoles that they're doing are a little bit more premium price, because then it's probably going to last a long time and you're going to be very satisfied. But with all of this, not cleaning, not testing, not doing a single thing with these consoles, and then making these videos, and then, you know, getting mad at the customers and saying, oh yeah, we do this, oh yeah, we can't give you a refund because you lied to us, when clearly they're lying to them, and then making them do their job that they're supposed to do. Like, it's just not going good with DKOldies. But these are the 3 reasons as to what we have figured out. It's miscommunication. I messed up there for a second. But it's miscommunication, and then not having the tools, and then just assuming that the console is in clean condition just because it turns on and works, and then the owner. The owner is the main red flag behind all this, and I honestly sounds like to me is, yeah, DKOldies needs to get a new owner and needs to get new leadership, because what it sounds like to me is that owner clearly does not know how to run a business and is just literally ripping and robbing consumers just to put false information saying that they're doing this, but they're clearly not, and lying to consumers, and then making them, you know, pay a premium price like the $400 for a backward compatible OG PS3. Like, it's just not right. And honestly, yeah. And honestly, it makes so much sense that it's the owner behind all this, and especially forcing it on people like Joey, making videos and saying, oh yeah, we need to do this because we need to be considered good, not bad, when they're just not doing what they're being told, and they're just literally ripping over consumers and lying to them and giving them false information saying they're giving these products, and they're clearly not getting especially a working product at this point. So yeah, miscommunication, assuming the console is clean just by turning it on if it works, and the owner. Those are the 3 big red flags as to why DKOldies has been not refurbishing or cleaning their consoles like they claim that they're doing. So yeah, like I said, the owner is the main reason, and it sounds like to me that they honestly need to get him out the door, and they need to find new leadership and get a new owner if their company is going to be around a bit more longer. That's what needs to be done. So this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Hope you guys could please hit that like button, and also be sure to subscribe if you are new to this channel, and we will keep you posted with more content going forward, and especially more DKOldies information of whatever happens that continues to go on forward, because it clearly, we're going to continue to keep talking about them until something either happens or until there's nothing about them. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below of your thoughts of the 3 big reasons as to why DKOldies is basically lying to its consumers and giving them crappy products that they're claiming are good products. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. Turn on notifications so you'll be notified with every new video we upload going forward. But that pretty much does it for the video. So this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.